leadership role in the states. From the troubles of the People's Democratic Party, now the woes to the woes of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, that is APGA. The party has seen better days as recent chairmanship leadership crisis continue to weaken its influence and relevance in the country. There is a current interim injunction from the Federal High Court FCT Division restraining INEC from recognizing or dealing with the Edozie Njoku as the national chairman. The court injunction was granted in favor of Sly Izokenwa, who now lay claims to the leadership of the party. Joining me live in the studio is the National Legal Advisor of the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Victor Agunzi. Victor, what's happening within the All Progressive Grand Alliance, APGA, as my people will call it?
Thank you for having me, and good evening, viewers. Well, all that is happening within the All Progressive Grand Alliance, some of the usual things we see every time, particularly when elections are coming up in Anambra State and other states, more particularly Anambra State. I will tell you that all that is happening has not weakened the party. Barrister Sly Izokenwa remains the national chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. What you have just seen recently, that INEC in its portal supposedly recognized one Edozie Njoku by court order. I can tell you there is no court order anywhere that mandated INEC to recognize Edozie Njoku. If you want to look at the issues of the leadership of APGA, you have to fall back as far back as 2019, who was the validly elected national chairman of APGA. And the court has settled this issue that Chief Victor Oye was the validly elected national chairman of APGA. So at the point they went to Jigawa, the Edozie Njoku faction went to Jigawa to procure a judgment that was eventually set aside. Chief Victor Oye was the national chairman of APGA. They went claiming Edozie Njoku was suspended. At that point, they got a judgment trying to validate their Owerri Convention. But the Court of Appeal, Chief Victor Oye appealed as an interested party in the Court of Appeal because he was the substantive national chairman of the party at the point they went to Owerri. He applied to be joined in the Court of Appeal Kano, and he was joined. And the Court of Appeal Kano set aside all that transpired in Owerri. They got dissatisfied, they went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court affirmed what the Court of Appeal Kano did. And what did the Court of Appeal Kano did? That all that happened in Jigawa was an abuse of court process, that they left as far as from Owerri to Jigawa, seeking to validate a non-existent convention in Owerri. So the Court of Appeal specifically stated that Chief Victor Oye was the national chairman of the All Progressive Grand Alliance before the matter that went to Jigawa. And I can tell you today, there are 3 Court of Appeal judgments delivered by the court that has validated the National Convention of the All Progressive Grand Alliance that took place in Oka in 2019.
What is responsible for this perennial crisis within the All Progressive Grand Alliance? Since the time, this is not the APGA that was envisaged by Chukwu Emeka Ojukwu when he actually, brought this party into being. And this is not division, because APGA by now we expect it to have, dominated even the grassroots, gone beyond the southeast. What do you think the problem is?
I can tell you the problem is just all these political merchants that always sees it as an opportunity to deceive the public and make some gains from it. It is just the shenanigans of some of these persons that have long been expelled from the party, trying to launch a comeback. And by so doing, each time elections are coming, they want to begin to try to mislead the public. So I can tell you that what is happening in APGA is just a mere fabrication of these other groups because they do not exist. They do not exist because it is just a mere fabrication.
Some people don't even see it as even a regional party. Some people will just say APGA is just, limited to Anambra, and has been able to show how strong the party has over time and how, resilient the party has been over time in Anambra State. That anything outside Anambra State, APGA does not exist in Nigeria.
I will tell you clearly that is falsehood, total falsehood. By all standards, APGA is a national party. APGA has won elections in Taraba, has won election in Benue, in the FCT, in Niger State, in Bayelsa, Abia State. I can tell you we are even working on how to move to the center. So it is incorrect for you
move
to
to the center.
Yes, to take over.
Somebody from the platform of APGA taking over Nigeria.
It is a
Don't you see
possibility.
that as a joke?
No, it can't be a joke. It's a possibility.
That's
We
a
are
party
working.
that is limited to Anambra State.
We are working because we have structures across the 36 states of this country.
How
including
strong?
FCT.
How strong is this party when you come to the southwest, when you come to the south, when you come to the north central, when you come to the northeast, other regions, not even Anambra State now, even the eastern region. Look at the last presidential election. APGA was nowhere to be found.
No, I will tell you, if not for these distractions that had always come up as a result of some of the leadership issue, I'm telling you, by now, we would have been where we are. So taking you back to the issue of the leadership of the party, you cannot begin to see Edozie Njoku as the national chairman of APGA because there is no judgment of any court in Nigeria that declared Edozie Njoku as the national chairman. If you are following what is happening, the Supreme Court has just only recently availed us with an official position that it never declared Edozie Njoku as the national chairman of APGA by its judgment of 14th October 2021. That all it did in the correction was just to correct a mere accidental slip in the background facts of its earlier judgment, and that it never declared Edozie Njoku as national chairman. And because he didn't declare Edozie Njoku as national chairman, that the chairman of INEC did not disobey the Supreme Court judgment.
So you are referring to the governor of, you refer to the governor of Anambra State as the national leader of APGA. Why is he meeting with this Njoku?
No, of course. The Governor Soludo,
yes,
is the national leader of
the only sitting governor in the party and, let's say, number one person presently in the party right now.
Edozie Njoku only claimed that he met the national leader. I was not in that meeting, so I have not been in a position to confirm if indeed there was any such meeting because I am not aware.
Is this not a sign of legitimacy? That's for the governor, the national leader, to meet with him, and that confirms
No,
him.
that is his claim. That cannot confer legitimacy on him. The national leader of the party has a duty to ensure that all issues that tend to be a distraction to the party are resolved. So even if the national leader decides on his own to call, that doesn't confer legitimacy on Edozie Njoku, because for you to become the national chairman of a party, you must be a product of a national convention.
All right. We'll take this breather. When we come back, we'll be right back. It's Sunday Politics.
Judgment of the Court of Appeal Kano and dismiss the appeal by Jude Okeke. And what was the judgment of the Court of Appeal Kano that was affirmed? The judgment of the Court of Appeal Kano that was affirmed was that all that they went to Jigawa, Edozie Njoku and co., the group, went to Jigawa to do was an abuse of court process. And the court set aside that judgment and pronounced that before the suit was initiated in Jigawa, Chief Victor Eke Oye was the national chairman of APGA. And that was what was affirmed by the Supreme Court. The correction of 24th March 2023 was just in respect of the fabricated background facts that was presented before Jigawa. So when the Supreme Court was making reference to that background fact, the Supreme Court in error mentioned the name of Chief Victor Oye instead of the name of Edozie Njoku. And that error was corrected and the name of Edozie Njoku was reflected in that background fact. And that didn't amounted to a pronouncement of Edozie Njoku as national chairman. But he went all town claiming the Supreme Court had pronounced him as the national chairman of APGA. But gladly, the Supreme Court came out to say, no, we never declared you the national chairman of APGA. And therefore, the chairman of INEC did not violate any. You will recall, sometimes in 2023, in build-up to the general election, they took that same judgment of the Supreme Court. Mind you, that judgment of the Supreme Court is not just a new judgment. That judgment has been there since 2021 and corrected in 2023. And after that, the general election took place in 2021. After the Supreme Court judgment, the Anambra State election took place. In fact, you could see that after that Supreme Court judgment, affirming the decision of the Court of Appeal Kano, that was when the name of one Michael Chukwuma Umoji was removed. And that judgment saw to the glorious return of the name of the national leader of the party, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, as the governorship candidate of APGA in that election. And today, to the glory of God and by the power of the will of the people of Anambra State, Professor Soludo is now the solution governor of Anambra State, performing wonders. So I can tell you that the INEC chairman was hoodwinked, was blackmailed into hurriedly according Edozie Njoku the recognition you can now see on the portal. I will tell you that Edozie Njoku is not the national chairman of APGA. He's just a portal chairman of APGA.
Okay. Victor Agunzi is the national legal advisor of the All Progressive Grand Alliance. I want to thank you. And we'll take this break. We'll be right back after this break.